Great timing, Mark.
Perfect time.
I played the long intro because I didn't know who was showing up.
Me, myself, and I.
So how's the kid? Is the kid asleep?
We'll go with yes and cross our fingers.
Excellent. Well, this is good for everybody. It looks like that gives them the chance to find their dad's anime stash. We are as organized as ever this week. Mark was pretending to put his kid to bed while he played Super Mario Kart.
It was great.
Sai is out. He was kidnapped and his kidney was stolen. So while he works on that, he won't be back until tomorrow. And I was on time and great as always.
Perfect.
All right. So, Mark, what are we doing this week? Big week. Big week for you.
Yeah, big week. So we are going to be covering One Piece, which I'm sure people listening are like, oh boy, here we go. 45 minutes of Bushido Geek talking about how amazing One Piece is. And you're correct in some ways, but you're wrong in other ways, because my ranking for One Piece is so high because I've seen the majority of One Piece, but I have to review this as season 1.
And what is season 1?
So One Piece is weird in terms of like what because it's not really a direct, like, for people that watch One Piece, if you're watching Netflix, you're going to be like, wait a minute, that's not all of season 1, because normally One Piece goes by arcs, but the season 1 is the start of Luffy's journey into becoming the Pirate King. So you see the early adventure of him and why am I blanking on his name? Koda? No. The short dude. I don't know why I'm blanking on his name all of a sudden. And you get a little bit of Zoro. Yeah, Piccolo. And you get some of the Zoro stuff, which is always pretty sweet. But it's pretty much just the start. It's the start of him becoming a Pirate King and the start of him finding his crew and all that. So it's pretty. You don't get a whole lot in the grand scheme of things.
You don't. You really don't. Do you feel so? You have a different perspective than me, as you've watched 2,970 episodes of One Piece, and I've watched about 30.
Yeah, I'm on like I think it's at like 1,010 or 1,020, and I'm at like 815, somewhere around there. I stopped to let it catch up for a long time.
So do you feel like these first 30 really drag? They get you, they claw you in, and they make you want to climb up this mountain of a show? Or do you feel like you have to get past these first ones to keep going?
You have to get past it. So when I was about to start watching One Piece, like, because I think I had just finished watching Fairy Tail. Well, the first part, like the early Fairy Tail. And I was like, oh, I want like another longer anime to watch, like something. And it was between, ironically, Naruto or One Piece. But I was like, I've tried Naruto before, but it didn't really work. I didn't really enjoy it. So maybe One Piece. And I can't remember who I was talking to. They're like, all right. They're like, fair warning. You got to get past like almost the entirety of East Blue before you're going to get hooked. So I was like, all right, we'll see how it is. And that's pretty much what it is. I honestly feel that the start of Nami's arc, which is just after you stopped watching around episode 30, they go to Arlong Park, which is literally 31 through the rest of East Blue, which is 60. So East Blue is 60. The whole of East Blue arc is 60 episodes. Arlong Park is 31 through 60. And that's honestly where I feel that I got hooked, was Arlong Park. So it's the second half of season 1 is where I got hooked. So season 2, essentially. So season 1, it does an okay job. Like, the stuff with Usopp is pretty good. Krieg's stuff is pretty entertaining. But Arlong Park is like where you get like some actual like real One Piece.
So, to give you the perspective of someone who has not devoted their life to watching One Piece, I didn't like it.
You'll get there.
I didn't like it. I don't feel like watching one more episode will change that for me.
One won't, but 30 more will.
So, are you sure that you like it? And could you possibly have Stockholm syndrome?
I mean, I do, but that's unrelated. That's related to Bubblegum Crisis. That's something that'll never leave me now.
There's only 8 episodes, and you only watched like 2 of them. So
yeah,
don't just move past Bubblegum Crisis.
yeah,
you don't think maybe you just keep watching because you feel like you're so invested, you might as well finish?
I mean, I'm sure that maybe is some of it. I generally, I mean, I don't know how the current stuff is, obviously, because I'm like 200 episodes behind, which sounds insane. But I have been rewatching it with Cameron periodically. We're on like 130 ish, somewhere around there. But I again, it's one of those things I was told when I started watching One Piece, same thing. They're like, yeah, you got to get past East Blue, or at least to Arlong Park, and then you'll get hooked. And I will fully admit that the first 30 episodes, although I don't think they're bad, they do drag on. Like once his crew forms, for the most part, and by that I mean like the core 5 until like he picks up other people much later. You do start to get really hooked, but again, the first 30 is you gotta like go into it knowing that you're gonna keep watching past this. Like you got to be able to commit to more than the 30. Otherwise, it's going to be hard to get super invested.
It's a lot to ask, though.
It is. That's why I feel like until One Piece ends, like when it's like completely done, there's a full ending. Well, I say fully done, but he's probably going to release like tons of movies and OVAs and all this other stuff. But when the core anime is done, that's when I feel like a lot of people will try watching One Piece, because I feel like a lot of people aren't willing to try it now because of how long it is and the fact that it's still going.
So it also looks like there's a hell of a lot of filler here. So I'm looking at the list of filler episodes. There are just big chunks you can skip. Episodes 131 to episodes 143. There's a lot.
Yeah, that's really their only filler, and it's again. So
what about episodes 196 to 206 and 220 to 226?
Okay, so here's how One Piece does their fillers. They for the most part, not every time, but for the most part, they will tie their fillers into a movie that's come out. So like if there's a movie coming out, you'll get like the last 4 or 5 episodes of the filler arc will be like to help set up the movie in some way, or at least it's like character development. Like again, every anime has filler. It's just an extent of how much. Where I hate Naruto for the fact that the filler has nothing to do with anything. Like there's no bearing on anything.
And also the fact that the last half of the series is filler. That's insane.
Well, yeah.
Hold that shit.
Yeah. But where I'll give One Piece slight credit for their filler is either ties into a movie, or at the very least, their filler is geared towards character development, which, yes, it's still filler, but at least there's like some sort of purpose for it. But they generally only do filler after an arc is completed. So you're not like, while an arc is going on, you're really not going to get any filler. Like, it's not like you're going to be like in the middle of a fight and then you're going to get like 3 episodes of filler before the fight finishes. Like you're going to get the full fight. And then when the entire arc is done, then you'll get some filler before the next arc starts. But they generally won't do filler in the middle of an arc, which is nice.
Well, most things don't. But let me ask you this. Is there a baseball episode?
I know there's, I mean, not directly, but there is an episode like after, like it's in like the late 80s or 90s, where they're in Alabasta, where these two people combined are one of the guy's weapons is a baseball bat. Because he has like this dog that ate, I think literally it ate like a baseball fruit. And so it shoots out explosive baseballs. So the dog just shoots out baseballs and then he hits it with a bat into people. So there was technically some baseball involved.
I can tell you the baseball episode is my least favorite and everything.
Yeah. Well, this is in the middle of a fight, so it's more tolerable to manage because it's like it's these two guys fighting Usopp and Chopper like way later in the anime. I think early on out of the first 30, I think the only decent villain in the first 30 episodes is the man with 1,000 faces, the butler from Usopp's island, because he's like flat out sadistic.
No, he was relatable.
Well, yeah, also true. Like the stuff with Sanji and Krieg, like Krieg's just like your run of the mill pirate douche who tries to be cool and gets his ass kicked in the Grand Line. But Kuro is like, no, I'm gonna spend like 10 years of my life being a butler to some rich chick, so in 10 years I can kill her and take her money.
That wasn't his plan. I mean, that was his plan, but the 10 years, he didn't plan on doing it over 10 years. He wanted to do it quicker.
Yeah, it just didn't go perfectly to plan, but I did like him as a good early villain for One Piece, because it's like, it's a guy who is, like you said, he's more relatable in early One Piece villains because they are a little comical in the beginning, like
the clown,
the clown, yeah, who never goes away. Buggy is literally in the entire. I mean, there's a reason for it. You don't find out till much later why he's so important, and he keeps showing up. Like, why is he so relevant, and people know who, like, remember his name. He's
Luffy's grandmother.
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know. Like I said, you have to, again, it's One Piece is weird because my rating for the first season won't be as high as what my rating for One Piece is, just because I know how the first 30 episodes are. But it's still just so good.
It's so good. As soon as you hit episode 31, it's like Star Trek: The Next Generation. You just have to put in 35 hours, and then it starts getting good.
Here's a good way to see if I don't know if the movie for this is on Netflix. I don't believe so. There's a few One Piece movies on Netflix. I don't believe this one is on Netflix. No. If you watch, so what One Piece has done is they've taken a lot of the earlier arcs and just turned them into movies. So like it'll take like the entire 30, 40 episodes and just put it down to an hour and a half shortened movie. There's a movie for One Piece. I mean, it's a movie now. It's literally just for Arlong Park. So if you're curious to see if you're going to like One Piece at all, just watch Arlong Park, like One Piece Arlong Park. It's maybe an hour and a half tops, and it sums up like the entire arc of Arlong Park. And that's what got me hooked, was that arc. So that movie might be an easier way to go about to see if you're going to enjoy One Piece.
I wish you would have told me that to begin with.
Yeah, well, you're going to have to watch 30, but now you can just watch that too. Because there's a few other movies on Netflix, but they're not. They're not as good. But Arlong Park's a good way to go about it. But I think, how much does Netflix have on there now? 13 seasons. Netflix put on more, because Netflix has, like a couple hundred. Netflix has the first 306 episodes.
Oh, it's not bad.
So that's pretty good. If you're curious about One Piece and you don't want to, you don't have, I don't even know if One Piece is on Crunchyroll or anything.
It is. But
Is
if
it?
you watch those 300 episodes, episode 301 is where it really just takes off. Like you will be
Kills
hooked
it.
once you get there.
Where it ends up, CP9 and Ennis Lobby is some pretty good arcs.
Those
You
aren't
will
even words.
I know for a fact you would hate there's an arc in the 200s for, with the Foxy Pirates that I know you'd hate, but yeah, I guess we gotta review season 1.
No, go ahead and talk about that arc I'd hate.
It's like a mini filler arc. Like it relates to stuff that's currently going on, but it is kind of filler. And the guy that they fight is like a complete joke. That's one of the arcs like I don't actively enjoy is that. But yeah, I don't know. It's the first 30. I mean, it does a good job. I mean, you get to see the 3 main people, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, kind of like start their pirate careers. I will say they do a much better job with Zoro than they do Sanji in the early days.
So who are the other 2 of the main crew? You said the main crew is 5.
Yeah, well, Nami, you get Nami, but and then
She's in and
Usopp.
out.
Yeah, like the show as it continues on focuses on everyone, but primarily you're going to see more of the 3 of them than you are the other people. You'll see a lot of them, but not as much as the main 3 until he gets other people involved. But so the main 5 that you're going to essentially see in the first 30, and those are the only 5 you're going to see for I'd say like another 50 or 60 before they pick up the next person to be part of the crew. But so it's Luffy, obviously, who's eaten the gum fruit, so he's made of rubber. Zoro uses 3 swords. Sanji uses his feet. Nami's a navigator, and Usopp is essentially a sniper, but you don't really see a lot of that early on.
We have a special guest, Tyler French, who is so distraught that we didn't invite him to talk about One Piece.
What's up, boys?
What's up? I was just going over the main 5 crew that you get in the first 30.
I was talking about why I don't like One Piece, and then Mark was trying to tell me I just have to make it through the first 300 episodes, and then it starts to get good.
I don't think it even takes that long. Once you get to Arlong Park is where the series really starts to pick up.
That's literally what I said. I was like, what's funny is you stop. I said, what's funny is you stopped at 30, and 31 through 60 is Arlong Park, which is arguably one of my favorite arcs of all time.
Yeah. So I'm actually watching through One Piece for the first time myself. Actually, yesterday I just finished Skypiea, and
Yep.
In the middle of the Marine Fortress right now, and very close to Water 7, which my best friend is also going through One Piece the first time. He's in like the 600s right now, and thinks that Water 7 might be his favorite arc. So I'm very excited about that. The series really took off for me, though, once I got to Alabasta.
Yeah, Alabasta is pretty good. For like the thing that really like I was already hooked at Arlong.
Confused me.
Arlong Park got me hooked, but what sold me was Marineford. That's what like sold me was how good. That's like in the 3. That's like in the 400s or 500s.
Yeah, I know I'm a while from Marineford.
Yeah,
but I think one of the things
400 or 500 episodes to know this was something you would like.
I was already hooked, but that's what like
you guys keep saying shit that's just crazy. And
that's what brought it to S tier. Like I was enjoying One Piece, but like when I got to Marineford, that's what took One Piece from like an A minus to an S tier. Was that arc?
Yeah,
like,
I think
like this is fine for this. I mean, I'll watch it for 400 or 500 episodes, but I'm not really that into it.
Oh, I was super into it. It's just again, One Piece is weird because you get different things get you at different times.
So I got started on One Piece because my friend Zach and I, who does the Weekly Weebs with me, we made a deal that I've been trying to get him to watch Code Geass and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood for years. So we made a deal that if he watched those two, I'd watch the first like 120 episodes of One Piece. When I hit Arlong Park, I'm like, we don't need to make another deal. I'm going to keep watching this series. And
Yeah, Arlong Park
Alabasta,
was so good.
yeah, Alabasta made me cry multiple times.
It's good storytelling. It's like a less action-filled arc and more like storytelling, which is good.
That's cool. Tyler, crying's kind of your thing, isn't it? They're like Hulk Hogan in the 80s, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you ask the other guys I'm on the podcast with, I'm really good at assigning our sad anime because I put the guys through shows like Violet Evergarden, Made in Abyss, Terran Resonance, Your Lie in April, a lot of the tearjerkers that people know well.
Can't think of one sad moment in Made in Abyss. A fun romp. That's how I would describe it.
I've not watched Made in Abyss.
It's not as fun as I'm making it sound.
It doesn't. I wasn't
gonna,
I was going to assume probably not.
That the elevator scene coming back up to the surface, that was horrific.
And why did they choose this art style to do that in?
I don't know. It looks so cute, and then it's like, no, this is terrifying.
Yeah,
I mean, it has cute moments before they start the show.
Yeah.
Then episode 2 gets going and everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
It was a great show though. I haven't started season 2, and I just found out that there was a movie linking season 1 and 2 that I haven't watched yet. I usually just found out the other day that there are 3 movies, but 2 of them are just retelling the first season.
Yeah, I think one of my friends watched the movie and said it was really good, but I need to jump on that. I really enjoyed season 1.
Yeah.
Unlike
One Piece.
One Piece is a show that I think you got to give it a little bit to kind of ramp up. But I mean, the same thing you kind of said about the beginning of Naruto. And I mean, I'm wearing my Naruto shirt currently. That arguably the beginning of Naruto is terrible. And it took me multiple times trying to watch it before I actually got into it. And the only reason I started into One Piece was, again, because I made the deal with my friend. But once I got 20, 30 episodes, then I'm like, okay, I'm in this for the long haul.
So what do you think was worse, the beginning of Naruto, or the end of Naruto? And what do you consider the end, where the plot stops, are the next 120 episodes?
Well, we pretend Boruto doesn't exist, so definitely before
I'm not talking about Boruto. I'm talking about Naruto, the original series, where they fight, Sasuke leaves, and then there's no plot, but the show keeps going for another 100 episodes.
Naruto itself definitely should have ended there. Shippuden kind of picked up a lot of stuff. Naruto itself is not a good series. Naruto Shippuden is a good series with way too much filler.
I think the creators are lucky that any fans came back for that second season after the first season of Naruto. Listen, I liked Naruto when I watched it, but the fact that they put so much filler to end it, man, I couldn't pick up the second season. It wasn't worth it to me. I expected nothing out of it. I expected them to go find more bugs for Naruto to fart on.
I will say that Naruto Shippuden gave me my favorite episode of filler from any series ever. And it is one where they basically get poisoned by mushrooms and all of their jutsu become mushroom themed, and they're really funny. It's a completely stupid episode, but I love it.
You think that's better than Goku and Piccolo getting a driver's license?
That's fair, but I don't consider that filler. That's just pure
good
art
point.
right there.
Good.
This is just more reasons why I never want to watch Naruto.
You can't blame filler. You can't say you don't want to watch it because there's too much filler. Because we just talked about how much filler there is in One Piece.
Between arcs, yes, but Naruto gets filler I think doesn't Naruto have the highest rated?
The highest percentage of filler, I believe, comes from Naruto. And one of the big things,
fair, between the arc when Sasuke left and the episode, the first episode of Naruto Shippuden, that was after an arc.
Yeah. This percentage can't be right.
What, 130? Probably right.
No, it's saying that like Black Clover has like an insanely high percentage.
Well, it has less episodes.
Yeah. Okay. One Piece so this is only out of the 984 that when they wrote this article. There's more sense, so it's probably changed a tiny bit. 95 out of a 984 are considered filler, so 10% of One Piece is filler, roughly around 10%. For Naruto, so Naruto has the longest filler arc in anime history of 83 total filler episodes in a row, from 136 to 219 is considered all filler.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Naruto so this is the original Naruto. Out of the 366 in the original Naruto, 164 are filler. So 45% of Naruto is filler.
That sounds 100% right.
And so 10% One Piece, 45% Naruto.
I don't think those numbers are right because I think there's only 220 episodes in the original.
I know here.
Does
Okay,
sound more right.
Yeah, I counted that. I found another one. So Naruto, out of the 220, it's 90 out of the 220, so 41%.
So very similar.
It was,
and then Naruto Shippuden out of the 500. Is that the 500? Is that right? Around 500. Okay.
Yeah.
204 is filler, so 41%.
Yeah.
All of that sounds true.
Yeah.
There are multiple stretches in Naruto Shippuden where it's just 20 straight episodes of filler.
Yeah, again, that's what I said. Well, I'll give One Piece credit is, yes, it has filler. Obviously, 10% of it is filler. But where I'll give it credit is that it generally keeps the filler to when a arc is completely done, and it's filler for 10 episodes to set up the next arc.
Yeah.
That's not as bad. You know exactly what to skip.
Clicked out of Naruto was the Star Village arc during that filler when they were going to get he was trying to get a beetle that he could have smell Sasuke's clothes and it would track him down. And they played it so serious. Like, it was so important. It was the most important thing that ever done in Naruto. And he gets the beetle larva and it hatches and then it smells his fart. And I was like, no, I'm out. I'm no more of this shit, Naruto. And I walked away.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, Frenchie. First 30 episodes, you only get a couple villains. Who's the best villain in the first 30?
Oh God, it's been I think like 2 years since I've watched the first 30.
So it's Kuro. You get Axan Morgan's the first person you really see when he picks up Zoro. Then Kuro, where he gets Usopp.
Morgan's the Marine guy.
Yeah, Axan Morgan's the Marine guy. Kuro's the man of 1,000 plans.
The fucking dancing dude.
Well, that's one of his minions, yeah. But Kuro is the guy with the long cat claws.
The backwards walking guy.
Yeah.
That always puts his glasses up like that because he can't touch his face because his blades on his hands are so long. And then you get Don Krieg as the last villain of the first 30. The first season is Don Krieg and Sanji and all them.
So I really think Axan Morgan was a really good start, introduces the first villain as someone who literally didn't even give a shit about his own son, essentially.
That's what made me mad about him, is it made no sense that he let his son run around town besmirching his name all this time and then didn't give a shit about him just for a plot point. That made me so mad. It made literally no sense. If he didn't give a shit about his son, he would have done something way sooner.
I think a big thing. Go ahead.
No, I think it's because he's like more invested in just abusing his power that he's not really paying attention to what his son is doing, because he doesn't like consider his son even like his son.
Yeah, he tells him he doesn't even consider him a son. He's whatever to him. But he's using his name all this time. He was not the kind of person who would do that.
Yeah, true.
I will say I don't like Kuro. I like Usopp, but I don't really care about Usopp's first arc and introduction. I just didn't really. I think they dragged Kuro out a little too long. But I think, is a first villain. That's why I like Morgan a little bit. But I think the villains really take a step up once you get to Arlong, because after that, you're just hit time after time again with strong villains. I just finished God in L. I thought he was fantastic and terrifying with his powers.
He's a great one. They had. I was reading it after, and it was like if Anel had been not born, but if he had stayed on the main island, like the main essentially world of One Piece, and not gone up to Skypiea, that he would have been more powerful than all 7 of the warlords, and been more of a threat than the world would have known what to deal with. And they got like, it was like the world was lucky that he decided to go somewhere else.
Yeah,
right. It's like if Beerus had raised Vegeta.
Yeah. Like just his entire life, and was like, all right, we're going to send you to Earth to go fight. There's this guy called Goku there, but he can only use Kaioken. So you probably should have no.
I don't know how they would relate.
I don't know. It's one.
I didn't even understand most of the words you guys are saying after the first 30 episodes.
I just know that once, like, I was one of the people that it's like One Piece is way too long. I talked a lot of shit about it, mostly just to aggravate my friend because I thought it was hilarious. But overall, once I actually got started, I have absolutely fallen in love with the series. I was going to wear it, but I couldn't find it. I think it's in the dirty laundry, but actually at Anime Iowa this past weekend, bought a Nico Robin wanted poster shirt, and also picked up a Nami, an Ace, and Nico Robin pop figures to go with my Crocodile one that I had.
Nice. Cameron's wall right now is all One Piece wanted posters.
Nice.
It's the one anime he'll consistently watch is One Piece. I tried playing Dragon Ball earlier, but Hulu only has the subbed, and he's not going to pay attention if he can't understand what they're saying.
Dragon Ball's not made for subs, man.
It's not. It's really not. It's rough.
It's like watching sub Yu Yu Hakusho.
Yeah, you just can't do it. Just stick to why it's good.
Yeah. And I will say that I've actually bounced between the sub and the dub for One Piece, just mostly watching what's available. And I feel like I can get through a show faster when I have the dub on, and I really enjoy the dub cast. And
yeah, the dub cast is fantastic. I started with dubbed, but then when it ran out, I just switched to subbed. And the sub cast is also very good for One Piece.
Yeah, I've watched, I think about half of the episodes I've watched, I've probably watched subbed. I was really happy to go through Alabasta dubbed, because when we did that Nerdvember live stream last year, where you guys helped us out with, we had John Swayze on, and that was right after I had finished Alabasta, and he's the voice of Crocodile.
Yeah.
So it was really cool to talk to him about that. And this past April, I got to meet Caitlin Glass, who's the voice of Vivi.
Oh, okay.
Which, until getting more background on Robin, it was my favorite character.
Yeah, no, Robin's character is very good. So I've met bits and pieces of the cast, but like obviously only like, so I've met Brooke, Zoro, Sanji, Chopper, I'm blanking on his name, the samurai guy. I don't think you're not there yet, but yeah, like a bunch of pieces. It's a great cast.
So how much of it is dubbed now?
I believe like 600-700. I think.
It's crazy to me that they're not doing Sima dubs.
Yeah, I think it's because like One Piece always like is constantly churning out movies too, which adds to the time. And I think also with well, there's an end in sight. Oda has said for One Piece that he has the ending completely written, and it's 2 arcs from where they're at right now. So he said 2 more arcs between where they're at and the end.
Yeah, he wants to end in like 3 to 5 years is his goal.
Yeah, but he said the ending's already written. Now he's just filling up the 2 arcs between then. But yeah,
and then we get 2 Piece.
Yeah, you get 2 Piece.
So his plan is he's going to end it right before the new season of Stranger Things comes out. That way he can watch it.
It's true, yeah, and that's also when you get and then after when One Piece is finally done, then we're gonna get Puff Piece, which is the sequel series involving Luffy's kid. Because because I'm assuming that's just how anime works now.
Yeah.
When you get done, you just do a kid version.
Their kid takes over. Yeah.
Yeah. Just like the Inuyasha thing in Naruto. I just assume that's what anime does now. Is you get done and you
Seven
wait
Deadly Sins as well.
Yeah, you wait a couple years and you're like, boom, kids, and you're like, all right, sweet, pirate kids, and everything just continues.
I'd like to say, well, at least it didn't happen with Dragon Ball, but now we have superheroes, so.
And everyone wanted it to happen with Dragon Ball, but they went a different route with Gohan's story.
Listen, I think everyone needs to leave Gohan alone. Okay,
I like with how he went. Honestly,
if he doesn't want to fight, don't make him.
Yeah,
you got plenty of strong people. Just leave him out of it.
I wish they would have let Goku stay dead and gone Vegeta as the main character. And I like what they did with Gohan because it's not just, oh, well, we're going to, your dad was a fighter. We're going to have you be a fighter. I like that he pursued what he wanted to, became a good dad. And, it's one of the only actual good dads.
Yeah, there's not many.
Have you watched Superheroes yet?
No,
I haven't.
Yeah.
I will say that being said, One Piece also is a pretty regular foray into just shitty parents. Those of them that actually have active parents, minus Nami.
Her adopted mom was amazing.
Yeah, minus Nami, who we're gonna obviously they never mentioned a lot of their real parents, but Luffy's dad is just a straight up hey man, sorry, I gotta go overthrow the government. So good luck.
Is that Dragon?
Dragon, yeah. Dragon is Luffy's dad, and then
so the dude with the hat's not his dad, right?
No, that's
okay.
That's his Piccolo.
I'd always thought that was his dad.
Yeah, that's his
whenever
Piccolo.
I saw stuff because they look.
Shanks is amazing too, though.
Yeah.
Shanks is great. Yeah, Shanks is literally that's the perfect analogy. Shanks is his Piccolo.
Yeah,
that's a
and
perfect
explain
analogy.
more things to me with Dragon Ball analogies.
So Shanks gave him the hat the same way that Piccolo gave him the same outfit that Gohan wore against Cell.
Yeah. So the whole lead up that where
this
everyone's
is a real thing. I dress my kid like me almost every day.
Yeah. So when Shanks gave him the hat, he said, "Here, this is my most prized possession. You can give it back to me when I consider you a real pirate." And we haven't gotten there yet. So I think they're literally teasing that the final thing is going to be Luffy fighting Shanks. And there's lots of things, but that's one of the rumors that's one route it could go is Luffy fighting Shanks.
What is the time frame from when One Piece started to where they're at now at episode 1010?
With the times,
there's a time skip.
There's a time skip. I think it's like 4 maybe 4 years, 4 or 5 years.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, because the time skip is 2 years. And they do a pretty good job of showcasing the passage of time with the look of the characters, when they actually are going through growth.
They're getting a lot of shit done.
So I'd say 4 or 5 years. It might be more, but that's a guess without, because they never actually say. So that's my honest guess without actually knowing what's going on.
I totally just remember that I actually have my little desk doohickey for the Going Merry next to me.
Yeah. And my Going Merry model is right there.
Nice.
Along with a Luffy figure.
I have the book I wrote, which is available now on Amazon.com.
Nice.
Slime Girl by Josh Hatfield.
I just pirated it.
Yeah, you and everybody else.
If I buy it, I want an autographed copy.
Yeah. Just contact me directly.
And I want you to tell me how amazing One Piece is.
We're gonna get to how amazing One Piece is at the end of this. I don't know. I think we're gonna have some different ratings here. I think I'm gonna kill the curve.
Again, like I said, my rating for One Piece as a whole is based on the fact that I've seen the majority of One Piece. My rating for season 1 is going to be drastically different because, again, I like Frenchie said, I do 100% concur with a lot of people that you have to finish 31 through 60. You have to finish all of East Blue. If you're not hooked by the end of East Blue, you're probably not going to enjoy One Piece as much as a lot of people. But the second half of East Blue is what hooks the majority of people.
And I think a big thing too is that, especially when you're rating it, it's tough to be subjective when it's a series you absolutely love. Like when we did on the Weeps podcast, we did the first season of Yu Yu Hakusho, where I wanted to give it, a perfect score because that series is one of my all-time favorites. But if you look at the first season as a whole, it's before the series really hits its stride with the Dark Tournament. You really only get the first couple episodes of it introducing the Taguro brothers.
Yeah. Adding on to that, I did just read an
and you
article
consider that's the first season?
That's what Hulu had it as. We just based it off that first quarter of the show because it's broken down on Hulu as 4 28 episode seasons.
The Taguro brothers are there in the first 28 episodes?
Yeah. The
What?
Dark Tournament starts in the first 28 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know so much longer.
I know the Taguro brothers get introduced because of the castle.
When they go rescue Yukina.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, it went, obviously Yusuke trying to get resurrected, then them trying to deal with the bugs and the sacred beasts. Well, first the 3 treasures, introducing Hiei and Kurama, and then you've got the psychic arc where you meet Genkai. Then it leads into the sacred beasts, where Kuwabara becomes a much bigger part of the plot, and then it goes straight into Yukina's stuff right after that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I say One Piece is weird, because when animes get that long, you have to just start reviewing them by arcs. It's hard to review them by seasons.
Man, yeah. Yu Yu Hakusho just seems
I think it's
much longer.
I think it's because of like the demon arc at the end is a fairly lengthy amount of time, but is kind of after the majority of the plot has been finished, so to speak.
No.
Whereas
you're wrong. The demon arc at the end is episode 95 through 112. It just seems like there's so much more to it. I guess they just pack so much more into it.
Well, the Dark Tournament's how long does that take to finish?
By I think 50 episodes.
Yeah, but you get a lot. Look how many fights you get.
Think.
Look how many fights you get during that.
Yeah, and all of them are good.
Oh, fantastic. That's where I will say One Piece does get very, the fights do get vastly better. Because Accent Morgan's obviously pretty simple early on. Kuro's not a bad fight. I just don't think you get to see a whole lot of what Kuro could do. You get the most.
He was relatable.
You get the most out of Krieg, but Krieg, you just were waiting for him to lose because you're all you have is a bunch of gimmicks. You're just using a spike carpet and gas grenades, and it's a pretty good one for low level pirate stuff. But
yeah, I think from the point that I'm at right now, every fight just kind of seems like this villain seems really strong, but Luffy is going to do something to overpower him. I think my favorite fight I've seen so far was Mihawk taking down Zoro.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
Because I think that's the most one-sided fight I've seen so far.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember where you're at without saying anything. Yeah. They don't do too many one-sided fights in One Piece. They like to keep it just because you're a strong person and you're a main character doesn't mean that there's not people that could whoop your ass in 5 seconds.
Yeah.
So actual character development.
That was one of my favorite things. And that's one of the things that is really nice is that every character really serves a purpose in Luffy's crew. That's something that I think Naruto is not great about, and Dragon Ball does part of it in the original Dragon Ball series, but after you get to Z, where it's literally just about the Saiyans and no one else really matters.
serves a purpose but Goku, and Vegeta is just there
to
be a foil.
In the 200 episodes I've watched so far, there have been amazing moments for every single character. And I mean, even Nami, who's one of the most useless people in terms of fighting, took down a devil fruit user. during Alabasta, which was a really fun fight, actually, especially how
Yeah.
stupid the weapon that Usopp made for her at first was, but then it ended up doing the Thunderballs and worked perfectly.
Now let's be fair.
Oh, the climate
Krillin
attack.
has some pretty amazing moments at the end of Dragon Ball Super, like when he beats Goku. Yeah,
I've not watched Super, so that's interesting.
Krillin
I
tricks him.
just watched because it was on that Tsunami Aftermath website. They're replaying the Cell Saga right now.
Yeah.
And I just finished watching like Tien's last stand against second form Cell.
Oh yeah.
God,
such
such
a triangle and makes a
yeah,
square.
yeah, such
He
a
just
good
keeps
moment.
putting him down.
It's such a good moment. I was like, this is the last time you're relevant in any way, man. Soak it
No.
up while you can.
He
It's
knocks an energy blast out of the way in the Boo Saga, but then we
It's
don't talk
true.
about it again.
Yeah, we just needed that one thing. But oh my god, it was such a good moment.
Tien was such a wasted character.
He
It
really,
really
was.
was. Because when you consider that, like early on, they like they tease him as like, oh, he's gonna be the next most powerful human, quote unquote. And then they're like, you know what? Let's just gods and other things, and no one's relevant unless you're a Super Saiyan.
Yeah. It does get sad. He beats Goku at the World Martial Art Tournament. And he never they never mention it again.
Yeah. But oh well. So do we want to go over like final thoughts on season 1? Season 1, half of season is it? God, again, this is where One Piece gets confusing because it's half of East Blue, but East Blue is the first arc, but it counts the first 30 as season like 1 on a lot of other websites.
I always call this arc just gathering the crew, basically.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. East Blue is just him getting the main 6, right?
Luffy, Zoro, Sanji, Nami, and Usopp.
Chopper.
I think it's just fine. Chopper comes in later. He's after
that's
Arlong
true.
Park.
Yeah.
He's when they're on their way back to Alabasta.
Oh yeah, so it's fine. Yeah, because then way after that, Robin's next, right?
Yeah, after Chopper, and then later on you get like Frankie and
then Brooke.
Yeah, I'm excited to meet Frankie. I've heard so many good things about his character.
Oh, Frankie's fantastic.
There was a really good Frankie cosplayer at Anime Iowa last weekend. That was really fun. They had an entire Straw Hat group and someone dressed as Crocodile.
Nice. Yeah, Frankie is amazing because they actually do like really good character growth with him. Yeah, Brooke's probably one of my favorites though.
Is Brooks the skeleton?
Yeah.
I've seen so many figures of him at recent cons, and I really am excited to meet him too.
I will argue when you get there, let me know, because I will argue that Brooke has the best backstory out of all of them.
He's a skeleton.
Yeah, but not. I can't say anything. That's such
a cool backstory.
Yeah, there's so much to it, but
I mean, Chopper's a reindeer that can turn into a giant beast human.
Yeah, because he ate the
human fruit.
Yeah, he ate the human fruit.
He's the one with fingers, right? He looks like he has hoofs, and he takes them off. And he has fingers, right?
Some of his forms do have fingers.
Yeah, like when he turns into the Beast Man, he's got his muscle form basically. That he's got fingers there, but his normal form is just hooves.
Fingers are super useful.
They are, because I think when he goes to like his brain mode, he's got fingers, so he can like do like make stuff or whatever. But
this could be this could be a hard rating for you guys, because like when Frenchie here brought up Yu Yu Hakusho, I was thinking, man, that would be hard to separate the first 25 episodes from the last 85 that go with it, and I don't know if I could come up with a rating just for that first 25.
That's what I'm saying. That's where it's really hard, because I can I can easily give a rating to East Blue, which is the first 60. That's the first arc, but the first only half of that, it's tricky. But we can make Frenchie do it first, though. That's the good thing.
But had you, let's say, you started watching it back in the day on Toonami, and you had to wait a week for every episode, do you think you'd keep going after you went to the first 30? Or do you think it'd be like, it's not worth another week?
That's how I originally started.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
But then I stopped watching when One Piece was starting to get later in the episodes. That's when Toonami kind of went kaput. And kind of got rid of, like, before it went kaput, when they tried saving it, they just kind of like took off most of the anime and replaced it with like really random shit. I had started watching One Piece on Toonami way back. God, I think it started in late 90s, I think.
That doesn't sound right, but I believe you.
I thought it was early 2000s because I know that it was actually, it might have been late 90s. I think it was before Naruto, and Naruto started in 02.
Episode 1 aired on October 20th, 1999.
Okay.
It was super late 90s.
Yeah.
Super late 90s. Yeah, okay. So Luffy, okay, so in season 1, it starts off with Luffy. He's
It aired on Toonami then, you said?
Yeah. Started
they
on
did
Toonami.
a different dub first, right?
Yeah, they did
Was it the Four Kids?
Four Kids, yeah.
Which is terrible.
It is horrible.
Kids.
It is so bad.
If I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure Erica Schroeder, who is the voice of like My Valentine and the Dark Magician Girl in Yu-Gi-Oh, voices Luffy in the Four Kids dub.
Wait, hang on. The Four Kids dub isn't the best dub?
No.
Oh, I thought it was. That's why I watched it.
Oh, that's why you hated it.
Seek it out. I was like ordering VHS tapes off of eBay.
Well, that explains everything. That's why you hated it so much. Yeah, no, they completely did an all new cast when they did the second dub.
Yeah, Funimation took over that one and did a really good job.
Right?
Yeah, Funimation was like, oh, okay, you guys had a chance.
You failed.
This is bad.
That's what they did with Dragon Ball Z as well.
We're starting over.
Like, fuck you, Ocean.
Pretty much. Like,
it's over 9,000 now.
You guys fucked up. Get your shit together. But all right. It's gonna be tough. Frenchie,
do you want me to go first?
Well, we'll make Frenchie go first.
So rating on a scale of what, 1 to 10, 1 to 100?
The normal F through S tier that we do with pluses and minuses.
I would give the first 30 a solid B minus. I think it does a really good job of establishing, your main characters. I don't think there's necessarily a lot of plot progression through those first couple. It's more character development and just establishing who each character is and what role they fill on the ship, which I guess you could call plot progression. But I think the overarching, going through the different arcs and stuff like that really doesn't get rolling until you meet a very strong villain in Arlong that gives you a main focus for a stretch of episodes, because in those first 30 episodes you meet so many different people that there's not really one thing that keeps driving the show outside of the main character's goal, which is becoming the Pirate King, but doesn't get that started until you even meet Usopp, when he's actually able to get an actual ship.
Yeah.
So I think that it does a great job, like I said, establishing characters and showing where the relationships between them. But overall plot, I think, is a little lacking in that first half arc. And it really picks up once you get to Arlong Park. There's no downtime after that. You go straight from that into, meeting you get to the Grand Blue or Grand Line, you get to Alabasta, you get to Skypiea, and then into Water 7. And then I remember there's another arc right after that Zach is really big on. So, I mean, that's 300, 400 episodes that it really starts picking up and moving quickly. So, yeah, I think a B minus, it's a solid grade, not super special, but it sets up what ends up becoming an incredible story.
Yeah, it's a solid rating. I can concur in some ways on that. And then Josh, I'll make you go. We'll go good bad. We'll go good bad good for what these ratings are going to
How
be.
bad do you think I'm going to give it?
I'm going to say, based on what you said, but based on what you said on other animes that I know you hated, like hated, like Record of Ragnarok.
That was bad.
I'm going to say C minus.
I am going to give it a C minus. That is absolutely true. I know. I feel like Frenchie, everything you said was right, but I feel like you put such a positive spin on everything that wasn't as positive. I feel like everything just felt random. He's like, I'm going to be a pirate because this guy said I should be a pirate. I don't feel like any character has any motivation for anything. And I guess it gets into it more later, but I don't feel like I should have to watch for 60 episodes to like it. So I think that's the big thing about it. I feel like there's too much to get going.
Yeah, I think that's totally fair. Like I will say that it's a swamp you got to slug through to get through that first part. And it's like I said, it's just like the beginning of Naruto. Like that's one thing I love about Dragon Ball is it jumps in so quickly, introducing Goku and Bulma. I still think Dragon Ball is the best series of that entire, franchise in terms of plot and character development.
Yeah.
I mean, if you like characters being important, Dragon Ball's definitely the way to go.
And then you get to Z, and Toriyama completely forgot who Launch was.
That's true. Oh, that made me so
remember
mad.
That, yeah, when he he was like, "Yeah, I just kind of forgot."
There's an episode in Super where Tien starts his own school, and like someone's attacking it. And I totally thought, I was like, oh, that's got to be Launch, right? Because she's still mad at him. But nope, Launch is just gone.
Yeah, he forgot.
He's bad about that though.
Well, yeah, true. I'm gonna give the first half. I'm gonna give it. Oh man. Yeah, I want to give it a B, but I just feel like the first 30 doesn't do a great job of establishing a few key things. So I think B minus is going to be mine as well. And it's kind of with a lot of what Frenchie said is that it does a good job of getting introduced like the first main characters, kind of letting you know a little bit about Sanji and Zoro. Zoro, not as much because you really don't find out a lot about his motivation until much later. About why he's so passionate about what he's doing. So it does a good job of like giving you reasons to care about the crew. But it's like the first 30 is almost like a setup for the second 30 with Arlong Park, where you really see the crew actually come together. Like Frenchie, I know you'll know the scene, but the scene after Luffy gives Nami the hat to hold on to.
It's such a powerful moment.
And then it's like right after that cinematic shot of all three of them walking on the path to Arlong's castle.
Because they're going to go beat the shit out of him.
Yeah, because they're going to go beat the living shit out of him. And it's like they play that really good music. That's another thing I'll give One Piece credit for is not so much the intro and outro, which I always review, which I felt in the first 30, not the best intro and outro. They do have much better ones later on.
Check out the 4Kids dub. It kills.
It slaps. But One Piece does a very good job of music in the anime, of putting in good music at key moments to like help you get further invested in stuff. But I have to give another B minus just because it's like they when they were making it, they knew they were just going to use the first 30 to set up the rest of the arc, which is fine when you know you're going to make that. But to get people invested, it's harder to tell people, yeah, you got to get past the first 32, 33 episodes to really get invested in the anime.
Yeah, like I can say that if I hadn't been doing the deal with my friend, I don't know if I would have continued to watch One Piece straight off the bat. But because I had to give it 100 episodes for this deal, it got me hooked after, like I said, episodes like 45 through 60, where you get into the later part of Arlong Park, is amazing. I absolutely adore the fight where all the fishermen get their asses kicked, and you really see how strong this crew actually is, and how together they are when they come to Nami's defense.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
it's so good. That's what I'm saying, Josh. Just watch the movie. Just watch the Arlong Park movie. It takes the whole arc, puts it into an hour and a half movie, and you still get. I watched it. You obviously miss some of the stuff, some of the build up, but it does good. It does do a good job of like recapping the arc if you were just like wanting to shorten up how much you were watching.
How can a series that is less than 10% filler recap 60 episodes into an hour and a half? These numbers don't add up. And we're math guys. We've proven that.
It's true. I did create our system of math. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but it does a good job. They kind of take, again, you lose some of the buildup, but they do a good job of recapping stuff if you're just kind of looking for a generic recap.
Yeah. And then you got Dragon Ball Super that does the exact opposite and kind of ruins some of the best parts of Resurrection F and Battle of the Gods.
Yeah. I don't know that they ruined much in Battle of the Gods, considering they literally just strung it out longer and slightly changed the ending.
But the ending is the funniest part.
The ending was one of the best parts. And Resurrection of F, yeah.
I do.
And they had so much potential with the Frieza Return saga.
Yeah.
With
I will say,
bringing
I
back
did like
Ginyu.
Ginyu. I did really like Ginyu back.
That's the thing. That was the only standout to it. And they could have drawn that out and made it so much better.
Yeah, my main problems with Battle of the Gods was they got rid of the ending with him just falling asleep. I thought was stupid. Instead of him just breaking the rock, like, there, I destroyed Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was such a better way, because the way you see Beerus develop into kind of one of the gang, but not one of the gang, sort of. But
yeah,
they also got rid of the bingo dance from Vegeta, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
That's right.
You can always watch the movie again, though.
Yeah, and I will. I do.
Good.
I know it's going to be bad, but I'm excited for superheroes.
Superheroes isn't bad.
Yeah, I heard it wasn't too bad. One Piece has a movie coming out.
Oh, I'm very excited for Red. The reviews have been awesome.
Oh, finally we get some real Shank substance after 1,000 episodes.
Do they have a live action One Piece series on Netflix yet?
It's
being developed.
Yet.
It's being developed right now.
It's gonna be so good.
Oh my god, the design of the Going Merry made me sick.
It's gonna be
Netflix
bad.
has been on point with those.
It's gonna be so
Yu Yu
bad.
Hakusho is gonna.
Yeah, you ready for that?
It's gonna be terrible.
You ready for that Yu Yu Hakusho they just announced all the cast of? See, here's the thing. I'll never get mad at the casting choices because I don't know the Japanese actors, so I can't judge based on that. Like, everyone's like, oh my god, these cast choices are terrible. I'm like, really? Are you a proficient aficionado of Japanese cinema where you know what these actors have done? No, you're just bitching because they released a casting choice. And you don't think it looks like Luffy.
You can't get mad at casting. I mean,
they're
going in a different way. Honestly, who played Spike in the
no, his last name's Cho, I think.
I know, I can't think of
John
his
Cho?
Henry?
Yeah, John. No,
Henry.
Is it Henry Cho or John Cho? I think Henry sounds right.
Give me a sec.
I was not against that. Like, the big complaint was, oh, he's too old. Well, I thought maybe they were going to do an older version of Spike, which would have been good, but they didn't. They just made him play younger. But I thought that would have been good.
Yeah, I mean, I think I thought he did a great job as Spike. Like, I thought he did, for what they wanted him to do, he did a good job. But like, the only thing, John Cho. Okay, so the only thing they've released so far.
Well, Henry Cho's the comedian.
Oh yeah. The only thing they released so far on the Yu Yu Hakusho stuff is pretty much just the casting choice, and people are already flipping out about it. And I'm like, it's the same thing with One Piece. The only real thing besides, like what the Going Merry looks like, which is legit something to get upset about, was the casting choice. And everyone flipped their lid. And I'm like, you can't get mad at the casting choice because the guy could crush the role. Like, when they cast Heath Ledger as Joker, everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is going to be terrible."
Every time they cast anyone as anything, everyone complained.
Yeah, they're like, "No way, this guy can pull this off." But I feel like it's so. The reason why I think both One Piece live action and Yu Yu Hakusho live action are going to suck is because they're going to try to recreate the magic of what the anime did in hundreds of episodes in like
10 to 15.
Yeah, if that. So you can't do that.
Mm-mm.
It can't be done.
The part that I did actually like the casting for the One Piece, like everyone at least looks the part. And a lot of people are like, well, that doesn't make sense. It's like, well, all these characters are not Japanese. Like
No, they're
Zoro
not.
is the only Japanese character. I think Luffy's Brazilian, Sanji is French.
Yeah, Sanji's French.
think-
Nami is like just like white, like legitimately just
like Middle European.
Yeah,
or
like
something.
Middle European, like legitimately. Robin's supposed to be like more like not Middle European, but more like not Middle
More like
Eastern, but like
Eastern European, kind of
yeah,
like
yeah,
Ukrainian.
yeah.
And then Usopp is black. He's African.
Yeah, Usopp is straight up African.
Because people freaked out when they cast a black actor. I'm like, he's literally African.
Yeah,
that's straight from Oda.
He's actually black. Like that's what they made him. Like they're not. This isn't taking place in South Korea.
Yeah.
Like this is an anime in an entirely different world.
It's all over the world.
The one
Like,
thing I
yeah.
am looking forward to is that Oda has been very involved with it, which gives me a little bit of hope. Just a tiny bit.
Yeah, it gives
But
me
if-
hope for like the story, like the storyline, like like that side of it. Where I think that where I think Netflix is going to Netflix it up is if they try to put too much emphasis on like Luffy's rubber powers.
Yeah.
And I mean,
They're
like
gonna try to recapture the magic of Waterworld, and you can't do that. That was lightning in a bottle.
there's so many good. Waterworld is a good one, but I gotta say, I think you're gonna like Marineford better, Frenchie.
I'm looking forward to it. I think there's going to be a lot of really good stuff. I'm still in between jobs. I don't start till the 15th of my new one. So that's going to be my next 2 weeks, is just watching One Piece.
Nice. I am 3 episodes away from finishing up with Yamushi Pedal in preparation for season 5 in October.
Nice.
It ends really. I think COVID messed up a lot of stuff because it's ending really. They're ending midway through the Inter High, which is so dumb. But hey, welcome to it. All right. Anyway,
completely caught up on Digimon Ghost Game. If you guys are wondering,
I'm sure it was super good.
This week we're doing Dota, Dragon's Blood, and The World Ends With You.
Dragon's Blood. I enjoyed it. I did like Dragon's Blood.
I'm halfway through the first book and I'm really excited about it. I like it a lot. It reminds me a lot of like Dragon Prince meets Castlevania.
Yeah.
I love a good Metroidvania.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So overall, what's that of One Piece? That's a C plus.
It's a C+.
C higher C plus for first half of One Piece. You need me to bring up? I'm gonna bring up this wheel here.
Let's get the wheel going.
All right, let's get the wheel going.
Frenchie's never been around for the wheel. This is gonna blow his mind.
Yeah, you ready for the ultimate glory? Is it gonna
It's
load?
one of the best 2 wheels we have.
Is it at load? Okay, good. Okay, so I just got to bring. Okay, what? No, it's gonna make me do it on a separate page. Okay, here we go. Okay, Frenchie. I don't know if you. I don't think you haven't been here for the wheel. So, besides this, just deciding what we land on next, even though I think I have to remove one piece from here.
That'd be a good idea.
We always let the guest take 2 animes. Obviously, if 2 new ones that aren't on here. And give us 2 animes that you think we should watch. If it's on here, you can pick something else, obviously.
Okay.
So it can be good or bad.
You've
been watching a lot of good anime.
Fruits Basket is already on there.
It is.
I love Fruits Basket. We just went to the movie a couple weeks ago.
I still have not seen it.
I'm behind on my Fruits Baskets. I watched the original series. That's the end of my statement.
All right, what do you got, Frenchie?
Have you guys watched To Your Eternity yet?
2 Year Eternity, you said?
Yes.
It's on the wheel.
Yeah, I would say that one. To Your Eternity was a really good watch with a lot of really good music, good characterization, and probably was my favorite anime that came out last year.
Okay, so it's on the wheel now, but did you want me to? It can still be one of your recommendations. I'm just letting you know it's already there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, all right. So what? One more.
Moriarty the Patriot.
I'm pretty sure that's not on there. I'm fairly positive. I'm telling this wrong, but I don't care. Is it and the Patriot?
Moriarty the Patriot. It's
Oh,
all
the
about. It's a Sherlock Holmes series, but it's about Moriarty instead of
track.
Sherlock.
Oh my god!
Crazy.
Look at all craziness just going on all day. All right, I got to resign into this. Let's save. All right, here we go. All right, let's see what we are going to be reviewing in 2 weeks.
As always, I'm hoping for Yu Hakusho.
But I wouldn't stop. We might as well just review the whole thing.
Yeah.
If it ever lands on Yu Yu Hakusho, we're reviewing all
112 episodes. It'll only take 36 hours to watch.
It's not landing on that.
What do we got? Shiguri.
I gotta Google this off stream just because I don't know what it's gonna be. Okay, so
looks interesting.
it's a samurai. So
I like where this is going.
All right, let me pull it up on my anime list, and I will, per usual, read the description. So, looks like it is only 12 episodes.
Like that.
Aired back in 2007. Funimation. Beginning of the Edo era, when people enjoyed a time of peace, Lord Tanagaga holds a fighting tournament. Matches were fought with wooden swords. However, this time, real swords are going to be used. One-armed Fujiki Jinosuke and blind Oroko Sagagan will fight each other in this match. Both are disciples of Yamamoto, who is known as Japan's greatest swordsman. Each of them is determined to prove himself the successor. However, there can only be one champion. So it's essentially like a fight between two dudes to decide who's Japan's greatest swordsman.
That sounds good. I like everything I'm hearing right now.
I'm in. Let me type that over to the chat here so we can keep track.
Only 12 episodes. I might try and check this out as well.
Well, you're welcome to come on for the review if you want.
2 weeks should be work.
In 2 weeks. I'll go check out it's on Crunchyroll.
I did not find it when I looked it up, but
my only thought was maybe because now that Funimation and everything has all done their thing, maybe.
I wonder if it's on the Funimation app.
Who knows? No, it is not on Crunchyroll.
Well, we'll find a way to watch it. We're pretty resourceful.
Yeah, who knows? Not like there's other ways to watch it. Josh, you want to Frenchie, you want to shout out how awesome Dad's Anime Stash is, and then I guess you can talk about your podcast too.
Yeah, I love coming on with you guys, and glad that I was able to catch the live stream. You know, you guys were talking about One Piece. Yeah, this was been the only night that I would have been able to join because of tomorrow having plans, but always love coming on and talking with you guys. Always enjoy the show. Anyone else wants to check out the Weekly Weebs podcast is available on Spotify and Anchor. And we'll have a big announcement coming up soon about our second annual Nerdvember coming up for the month of November again this year to try and raise money for suicide awareness.
Wonder if you'll see anyone here on there.
More than likely.
I bet you'll at least see Frenchie.
I bet you'll probably see Frenchie at least.
Maybe I hope.
Once or twice. If he's still on his podcast by then, if they haven't kicked him off.
Well, I run most of it, so.
Yeah. Frenchie's just trying to upset me by being like, I have friends and you don't. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everyone. Make sure you take that videotape and you slide it back under your dad's bed, rewind it back to where you found it, sprinkle a little dust on it, and then tune in tomorrow for our very special trivia episode hosted by Mark with special guests who are so special I can't even name them yet. Tune in next week for our special episode where we're going to talk about anime video games, which we all play video games. We all watch anime all together. Yeah. And then tune in 2 weeks for our review of Shiguru.
Shiguru. Okay, that's a name.
We'll be able to pronounce it within 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure.
Once we hear it, we'll be fluent. I'm excited for that one because I love
it sounds
samurai
good.
stuff. I love samurai stuff. So this seems like it'll be like a short, simple fight with some good backstory, and we'll be good to go.
I'm hoping that every sword slash does not have a 2-episode backstory.
It probably will. Like Record of Ragnarok, we can learn why his sword is called Skypiercer, or whatever the fuck it was called.
Because it pierced the sky.
Yep.
Why
All
the
right.
guy only has one arm.
See you tomorrow, guys.